Hey, it's Jay today.
And Gwen tomorrow.
Join us on our adventures. All right, so we're back with another one, guys. So we're currently out at Washington on Nebraska State Park, and we're gonna work our way back into Navasota, Texas. I keep saying Tennessee. I am so sorry, but currently we're in Navasota, Texas, or on the outskirts, actually Washington, Texas, on the outskirts of Navasota. And I'm gonna get to relive my childhood 25 years ago, about that time. And I'm bringing you guys along on an adventure. So with that, I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, and we'll just go from there. Definitely a cool little place. That must be where that planetarium thing is, or whatever they said back there.
Maybe it looked like a farm or something though.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I saw a bus over there, so. Yeah, everything is so weird because I don't remember, you know, two and a half decades ago, I'm not going to remember any of this stuff. And again, I was,
well, if some did not exist.
Yeah, and if some stuff didn't exist, then obviously I wouldn't recognize it, so. But again, we used to come here quite a bit growing up, so definitely a cool little park. It's called Washington, Nebraska State Park. All right, so with that, we're gonna head back to Navasota now and go from there. This general store here to the right, I don't know if that was there when I was growing up or not, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's all that old.
Really? I was thinking it looked super old.
I mean, it could have been from the 90s, right? You think? I mean,
no, I was thinking very, very old.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually an operational
back then. It almost looked like they repurposed it.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of for the park, maybe, but who knows? So pass with care, and then don't pass. I'm guessing that's due to the bridge and the curve, but either way, it's interesting. That big is noisy.
You have a lot of noisy stuff. Gesundheit.
Thank you. Headed back towards Navasota now. Ball Gift and Collections.
Yeah, but the whole half of that building
I know.
is falling apart.
Yeah, I saw that. Navasota 8 miles. It didn't seem like you even came 8 miles out. I guess when you're driving so much, it just all blends in.
Lisa and Grace, if you're watching this, leave comments below if things look familiar or things look different than you remember.
So I remember this used to be empty fields here.
That is an empty field.
Well, like no buildings or anything, from what I remember. But I guess that was so long ago. Actually, it was between the two bridges, and I don't know if that's still the same or whatever. But I do remember that you could drive down. Like they had like dirt roads off to the side of the road where you could drive underneath the bridge and like fish there, both the Navasota and Brazos River. And as you can see, for one thing, the bridge looks fairly brand new, or they resurfaced it, and you can't do that anymore.
That
so
looks pretty shallow.
so crazy how you cross a couple county lines there. Like we're in Brazos County, then shortly we'll be in Grimes County, and then Washington County's on the other side of the bridge back there. So right smack, I mean that river just that's kind of cool. So and the Navasota River. And now we're in Grimes County. See how they did that? It was Washington County, Brazos County, and now Grimes County. So, it was just so weird. Friday too, so that means that the Navasota livestock barn will be probably quite busy all the way until Saturday when they actually have the sale. Again, that was from 25 years ago, so I don't know if they changed stuff. It may not even be there, but I do know that they have a lot, and we'll drive by that later. So Navasota city limits. Again, when I was here, I think we were at 65 or 6,300, and that was 25 years ago, 25 years ago. So, I mean, and they've grown almost 1,000 since then. So, and I don't know if it was Grace or if somebody else told me that a lot of the businesses had moved out to Highway 6, which is the bypass that goes from basically College. It runs north of College Station. Like you can take it all the way up to probably Waco, Killeen, in that area, all the way down to Houston. And it's like all the businesses, the fast food restaurants, hotels, and everything, all moved out to the bypass where they used to be downtown. And again, we'll get to see some of that here shortly, because point out some stuff that I remember from when I was a kid. So growing up here in Navasota, Texas. So it's funny that that they got that wire tied off back there, and that one's down. West End Grocery. I remember that from when I was a kid. So this, it's just kind of interesting that this gas station's even still here. From what I remember many years ago, like it just, I don't even, I mean, that's just crazy. But right over here behind the gas station, this little white building here was a bar when I used to be here. I think it used to be called La Rosa or La Raza. It was a Hispanic, a Mexican bar. It doesn't obviously look like it's even, you know, open anymore. But that used to be a bar that we would go to from time to time, not by choice, but because of the time and my sister and everything. That's where she would go. So I'm gonna turn right here, and this is probably gonna, like, I'm gonna get probably emotional because this is where we used to live. Whoa. Okay, so first I need to pay attention to the road. So road is definitely kind of crazy here. They got a yield sign. So we used to live at 213 Minnie Street. So and growing up as a kid, it seemed way longer than what it is. But as you can see, it's actually not that long. I'm gonna let this guy pass.
Wait, come on. Put your arm out the window. That's 405.
I know, 213's right up here on the other side of these trees. Because I've Googled it, so. But again, it just seemed way bigger than what it was. And, okay, so this is an empty lot now. That used to be a house there. The greenhouse right here is a 213 Minnie Street. Oh my God, this was an open pasture here. Like, and a shed was there. Like, it always used to flood. Like, it was so bad. But this house right here, this green one right here, is 213 Minnie Street. This is where we used to live. I literally grew up here. Wow. I'm gonna get out. All right, so we're gonna go driving around now, and again, see some of this cool stuff that, of course, I don't remember much of, because again, I was 25 years ago. But that's interesting, seeing that house there, and then seeing the field next to it with that really nice brand new house that when it would rain, like, that whole field would be underwater. Like, it was so bad. Like, in fact, there used to be a shed there, and as a kid, we would shoot, we had a BB gun. We would shoot the window, like, because nobody was living there and it was abandoned. And then as we left there, people started moving into the shed, which was weird. But yeah, so this house here on the corner, the blue house here, at one time it was yellow, if I remember correctly. The lady used to have so many cats. I mean, abundance of cats. But then again, when we were growing up, we had a lot too. I think we had we probably had 60 or 70 cats, which is why I don't have animals now. There was 2 that were inside, I think, and then all the rest were outside. Some of them were feral cats, but they showed up because we were feeding them.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I laugh at your mom. So,
that's
because,
crazy.
yeah.
Mom, you didn't hear that.
I'm telling you, we had so many cats. So this is all changed too. So I'm not sure what this used to be. Right, I thought maybe this used to be a pawn shop, but I see it's down there now. But
events, weddings, and receptions.
Growing up, this area back here used to be an open field, like where they got the building now. if I remember correctly. It used to be open, but maybe it was back here now. Nope, it was back there, I think. It used to be open, and the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because I used to have a what was called an Alaskan Malamute dog, and I bought the dog from the people that lived there. And what happened is that prior, you know, I was young and dumb when I bought the dog, but I wanted a purebred. And obviously living in Texas, it was a horrible idea, but I ended up, they tried to talk me out of, well, because I work for a veterinarian clinic, so they tried to talk me out of it, and I was like, no, I think they're so cool because they howl and,
so you've always been
everything.
stubborn.
So I didn't listen to them. Well, then I wanted to join the Army. Well, what happened is that I couldn't take the dog with me, obviously, going into the service.
What?
So, and nobody wanted to buy it, because I had like so much stuff for her, and I probably overpaid for the dog along with everything else. So then I was just trying to give her away. Well, I ended up giving it to a friend of mine that I was working with, and he said that he'd take care of her. Well, what happened is she got off the leash, from my understanding, and somebody thought she was a wolf, and they shot her, and killed her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, and that's the reason why I don't own any more animals, you know, other than, you know, my childhood of the many cats. And like you said, and also when we lived at that place back there, atop of the 60 cats that we had, and again, that was a rough estimate, it's probably more than that, we had like 3 or 4 dogs too.
Weird.
All in that fenced in area.
What?
Like, I'm telling you, yeah, so.
It doesn't even seem like it'd have room for all the people. There's a big box truck. I don't know where you're going.
Right here.
Your butt is sticking in this lane. That truck's coming really fast.
So this is one way parking down here.
This is not parking. This is a little alley.
Yeah, I know.
Oh look, your Brookshire brothers.
Yep. So there's the Brookshire grocery. Oh, they took down there used to be a park canopy thing here. See where all that dirt is? That used to be like a little park thing where you could go and sit and eat, and they had bathrooms and stuff there.
Like a pavilion?
Yeah, pavilion or whatever. So let's go film this mural because this is gonna be kind of cool. So right, so we're back with another one, guys, here in Navasota, Texas. So when I was young and dumb, I don't know why. Again, I was a heathen, I guess you could say, when I was younger. But I thought it was cool because why not? Everybody else is doing it. But at one time, I spray painted some stuff down here on the walls, underneath the bridge or whatever. I was bad. Anyway, so I don't know if it's there anymore. We're not going down there. Things have definitely changed. But yeah, so that was down here. So let's go over here now. Yeah, that was super. This lot right here used to be a canopy, like a little pavilion where you could go in there and sit. They had restrooms and stuff, but
now it's dirt.
They torn it down.
Dirt.
That was there when I was here 25 years ago. This area over here is really cool. Very neat. So another thing too, again, I was young and dumb and about 24, 25 years old or whatever. I decided to spray paint something on the side of the building over here many years ago.
So now they've beautified it.
But as you can see, they've definitely cleaned that up, and this is really awesome. So with that, I'm gonna let Gwen walk by and show you guys, and I'm gonna do some other stuff. So this is so cool. downtown Navasota, Texas. Very cool. I love the artwork. Man, they really put some time in this to vitalize this area and make it really cool looking. I just don't know any of the people on there, other than the guy at the end down here, because they had a big blues festival throughout the years. So, all right, guys, and that's the bureau here in Navasota, Texas. We're still here in Navasota, Texas. We're gonna drive around a little bit. I'm gonna show Gwen some more stuff before we actually head out to the country area, again, where I lived before I actually left for the military. So with that, I'm gonna bring you guys along on a journey. So I'll just share this with you when we go. And that driveway is pretty deep there. So we'll go back this way, and then I'm gonna make my way back to the other way real quick before we actually head out of town or go towards the other way. So the reason why I'm coming back this way is Grace, if you're watching, which I don't know if you are, again, Grace is my sister. We're gonna drive by a place where she used to live, and then head back the other way, back into town. So I don't know if she's gonna recognize this. I mean, it's kind of hard to recognize the way it is right now. So a lot of this stuff is just so old and decrepit. So it's kind of cool. Another little mural right there. That obviously wasn't there growing up.
Well, it's meat market, so it was like.
And it looks like they're putting in something over here to the side, but right here off to the left, right here is the building. Here is where Grace used to live, somewhere along in this area right here. But it used to be a bar, and a building next to the bar is where Grace was staying there when she was over here. Oh my God, they still have the sign. Get that sign, that yellow sign, LaFlores's Trading Post. This is where Grace used to live, so LaFlores's Trading Post. So, however, it's kind of in disarray, and it doesn't even look like it's probably been, like, nobody's been there for forever, as you can see. But so that's kind of interesting that they still have the sign there. So wow. And again, that was more than 25 years ago, because she moved back before I joined the service, back to Wisconsin, that is. So wow, that is so interesting. So very cool. So that place, that lot back there must have sat for 25 years plus with nobody. There used to be a trailer there, there used to be a bar there, multiple the other things there. So, and of course, as you're younger, everything looks bigger, and I'm starting to realize that it indeed wasn't that big. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cross the main drag up here, which is, I don't know, I'm sorry for that.
What street?
I don't think it's Wood Street.
What street is what's red?
Oh,
lights
that's
are?
Wood Street then? I guess I didn't know that. So we're currently on LaSalle. Oh, Highway 105. There we go. So it's Highway 105 is the main drag here. We're going to cross this and we're going to go back the other way now and film it. And again, there's like a little mirror over here that you guys got to see coming up. That wasn't here when I was living here, so downtown Navasota has definitely changed. I like how they revitalized the area. It's unrecognizable what they've done, but they've made it a lot better looking than what I remember. A lot of those buildings were really old and decrepit, and they've changed, especially that classic that guitar shop that did the mural. That's really cool. Seeing that, and that's only been in there for 6 years now, so very cool how they did that. So we'll go down here for a little bit, and then we're gonna head over somewhere else. Another little mirror here off to the right. It's a cool little building there. They used to do a carnival over here from time to time 25 years ago. Obviously that's not happening now. I imagine all this stuff has changed down here too. There used to be a Sonic down here to the right. I'm guessing this is the old Pizza Hut right here. I believe that used to be a Pizza Hut.
Looks like that kind of design.
Which is now a funeral home, it looks like. There's palm trees here. I didn't know we had palm trees.
Dead ones.
Well, there's still palm trees, right? Veronica's Daiquiris. Again, this I think used to be the Sonic, maybe. So wow, that's crazy. I feel like there's 2 lanes here, but I don't know.
I feel like you're driving down the middle of 2 lanes.
But I don't know. That's the thing that's crazy. So this school is still here. So this is an alternative school here. There used to be another school at that time, but it was an alternative school when I was here.
Open.
No, I don't think it is, but I got in trouble, and that's where I was sent to that alternative school for a little bit in high school. So
is that before or after you spray painted the bridge?
It was well, around that whole time frame, I guess, because I was stupid.
Big pop-up and big jump down.
Junction Dance Hall, Caboose Lounge. So all based on a train. So I'm not familiar with this. I'm just turning around to go back the other way. That Wallace Pack unit, I think that's a prison that they have out here. There's a couple.
That's a weird name for a prison.
I believe it's like a camp of some sort, I believe.
A pack unit?
Yeah. Alright, so there's a bump here somewhere.
Yes, there is. And another one. Whoa! That was more than a bump. I don't know what that was.
Like,
I don't know what that was.
Come on, Navasota. We got to fix your train tracks, man. Holy cow. That is just ridiculous. So, yeah. Anyway, so I was a heathen, as you guys are aware, growing up. I did some stupid things and like was basically expelled from school because I was just a heathen. So yeah. However, I'm young. I'm not young no more. I'm older. I'm way more mature, and I regret doing a lot of that stuff, obviously. But yeah, so we're not even gonna talk about that anymore. Let's go and see some more cool stuff. So again, that one empty parking lot up here that was off to the right before, which will now be off to the left. I'm pretty sure that's Sonic now, or that used to be Sonic growing up. So right here off to the left, this used to be Sonic, which is now moved out over to the bypass, from my understanding. And we'll be going there here shortly, so. That yellow Hummer looks pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Pizza Hut looks like a funeral home now, I guess. I'm not sure. That's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Chamber of Commerce right there. Alright, so, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell the difference over here much, but Zips Liquor, that wasn't there before, obviously. I think the Wells Fargo's been there. There's a Dairy Queen up here by the stoplight. That I used to go there and get nachos when I lived over here in this neighborhood. That was like my favorite. I don't know if it's there anymore. There used to be a video store that Lisa worked at up over here, which I think is now the bank, or used to be a bank.
Yeah,
this is the intermediate school that I used to go to until lightning struck the side corner over there. Yeah, Dairy Queen there. Lightning struck the side over here, and then they closed it down, and then they moved the school out to the edge of town. Oh, and we got a green light. That's my bad.
Yeah, you had a red light.
So Dale Martinez Realty is like used to be a video store where Lisa worked at, my sister. However, that's no longer there. It's a realty store. I gotta focus more. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that they're still using this for something. It's in an elementary school now. Used to be the 5th grade intermediate school, along with
that says 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, so it used to be the 6th, 7th, and 8th was on this end. This used to be where the swimming pool used to. Oh, it's still there. The community swimming pool.
I never got a swimming pool at my grade school.
And the building, the locker rooms on both sides. The one on the far end was in school suspension, and the one on this side was. I know. I didn't share any of this stuff with you because I was embarrassed. But anyway, so that's back there where they had that. We're not going to stop because again, we've got other plans. So, used to be able to walk this whole creek here. However, you can't do it now. There used to be here up on the corner up here. There used like a little. Dive grocery store of some sort. We used to always go in there and get candy. Right here. I don't think you can do that anymore, obviously. It doesn't even look like it's open.
Oh, got garbage cans.
No, they've been closed for years. Holy cow.
Clear.
I remember the house that used to be here on the corner, but it looks like it might have burned down or
rubble now.
Yeah, so I don't know.
There's a bench there.
So we're going back to a trailer house that we used to live in, if it can even remember it. Wow, this is so old and bringing back memories. Holy cow. So it's not even, you don't even recognize it, but, and I'm pretty sure that it's been gone. but we used to live here in a trailer house on this lot, or maybe this one over here. Again, it was over here in this area. I don't recognize anything anymore, so everything has changed dramatically. But that was one spot that we used to live. So again, I don't recognize anything right now. And as you can see, it's probably not the greatest part of town, due to a lot of the fencing around people's houses and stuff. So, and there's a cat there. Oh, it's a bob, like it got missing its tail.
Somebody ate its tail.
Yeah, so wow. But yeah, I remember that being a grocery store, and we used to go there all the time. And they're still using it for something, but I don't know what.
Storage.
Maybe. Or some sort of, like, they have animal kennels back there or something. The person's car has an Illinois license plate on it, so. That's just cool seeing that they still have that same old swimming pool. I imagine they redid it. It looks a lot smaller than...
Because you were smaller,
you know.
so it looked bigger.
And this is all brand new, this school building is. I mean, it just doesn't look nothing like I remember it. They actually used to have the windows that you could open to the air, because I don't think we had AC. And if we did, it didn't work properly. Yeah, it looks just... everything is so weird looking.
Whoa, a lot of wiggly roads.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a palm tree.
Texas does have palm trees. Who would have thought? Grocery store should be up here to the left, if I remember correctly. That's after the one down there had shut down, or was probably in the process of shutting down. Then they moved it over here, right here. So it's still there. Yep, still there. And then they opened Brookshire Briar. Grace used to work here at the nursing home, off to the left over here. I remember doing my driver's ed in the Navasota Public Library. That's interesting. Forgot about that. Walmart should be over here if it's.
Yep.
Church's Chicken. I remember eating there. So this has changed. It wasn't a 7-Eleven, but oh, it's a Mexican restaurant over behind us. We'll have to see that when we get back, maybe. I don't know if you can even go that way. It's one way. I think I started one day. I worked there one day or something like that, and then I never went back. But it used to be a seafood restaurant back there behind us, behind the 7-Eleven. This is one way too. There's a restaurant up here off to the right that used to be called Wayne's Family Restaurant. I don't know what it's called now. So this used to be, this is where I thought the chair company was, right here. But now it might be over here in another building or whatever. But that's all new. I don't recognize that. Egrogenis, maybe this is it. Maybe that's the chair place now. Maybe, I don't know. This is all new. I feel like that's the second tractor supply place I've seen in town now. Could be wrong, but so this La Casa's used to be Wayne's restaurant. Oh, it's the whole different building. It's a whole different building now. So none of it, like, that's so crazy. But it used to be Wayne's restaurant right here, and then it was a pasture back there where that had fence, so you couldn't even go over there. But it's all different. Like, that's so, I know. So this used to be a nightclub right here that we would go to with my sister from time, and as you can see, I don't even know what the name of it was called, but they sold hard liquor there and were open till like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then a Navasota Inn back here, which I don't like. It's just definitely different. So and you gotta go all the way down here to go back underneath the overpass to go back the other way. That sucks. I didn't realize this is all one way. Western State Call and Dance. That's new. I don't recognize that. Yeah, underneath the bridge. Yeah. Does it? Oh. None of this stuff was here. I don't remember it, so. This is kind of cool how they have these little turnarounds right here, where you don't even stop, you just turn around. I like the murals too on here. There's some really cool murals. Look at them. Very cool. Oh, look at outside the thing over there. That's kind of cool too. Very neat. Up to the high school now. I don't know if this Ford dealership was here when I was growing up, but they had a vehicle and I didn't understand how credit works. See, and I see Sonic's out here now too on the bypass and everything, like I had thought, because I think somebody told me and I Googled it or whatever. But anyway, long story short is that I didn't have a whole lot of money, and they had a truck there that I wanted to buy. Didn't understand how credit works, and I was like, hey, can I get that truck and then pay this much money down? And he's like, no, that's not how that works. So I learned really quick, but after that, so very cool, I guess, and for me understanding, and now I know. So this is all new. None of this stuff was over here. Popeyes is inside of the gas station. So this is like a horse thing when I was equine something was here. This is so interesting. McDonald's was there. I remember that. That's been there for 20 some years. The Mexican restaurant next to it was not. But this gas station wasn't here. There's an equine something, and Sonic and Pizza Hut wasn't there. Sonic and Pizza Hut were downtown, but they get more traffic out here, and being next to the school, as you guys can see, they get plenty of traffic too now. So, and this is all new, so I don't recognize any of this stuff. Okay. So that's where I went to school at. I'm not going to go up there because, as you guys are aware, right now tensions being around a school, and I don't need to draw any attention, so we're not going to make that. But that's the school I went to.
It's a weekday in school.
Yeah, school's current. Well, either that or on spring break. But yeah,
No, there were a lot of cars.
That's where I went to high school, right there. So, and then the junior high was over here. But yeah, so man, the football field wasn't there before. They would actually play over by the grade school that we passed in downtown. But they put some money and invested. And if you guys aren't familiar with the South and football down here, they are crazy about high school football. Man, holy cow, would that draw some attention. So just figured I'd share that with you. And this is 70 miles an hour. That's so weird. It just doesn't seem like it is. So we are now headed to a place where I used to live before I joined the service. And I imagine it's all changed, so, but this will be kind of interesting, so. So this building, this huge building off to the left-hand side right here is actually the livestock barn here for Navasota. We'll drive down. I used to work there for, I think, like 2 years prior to joining the service. Basically what I would do is people would be bringing their animals in for sale for the auction, and then I would be in the back pinning them. As they, like, whether I work the scale or whether I work whatever portion of the sale barn I was working that day, that's what I would be doing. So I would be back here working the animals, trying not to get killed or hurt, because some animals don't like people because of the way they were treated. So again, this is still going 25 years later, and it's very cool. I don't see any animals in there, but it is Friday night. So they're gonna, okay, so there is a couple cows in there. So, but Friday night into Saturday morning before noon is when all the animals start to come into the sale barn, and then they auction them off Saturday at noon, and then it goes till Saturday 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I think I've been there as late as 1 or 2 in the morning sometimes, because the sale is still going on, and that's when you have a couple thousand head of cattle that you got to run through. So a very cool place. Also, a lot of these businesses along here, prior to me joining the service, and one of the reasons why I did join the service is because a lot of these places, when I went to go put in applications, again, I was young and dumb in high school, they wouldn't hire you unless you were a veteran. I didn't understand that whole thing, and I'm like, well, I guess the only way I'm getting a job is if I become a veteran. Or join, I should say, join the service, because nobody's going to hire you. And that's what I end up doing, joining the service. So, but I'm just going to drive through here real quick. I just, again, bringing back memories from 25. These little chutes right here, the semis would back up to the chutes, and that's how they would load them up. We'll drive around over here. I hear from many years ago that the food, I've had food, I've only ate here once, but the food was supposed to be really good, that they had here. I'm trying not to go over the driveway that doesn't exist. Cowtown Steakhouse is what it's called. Cow Talk. Oh my God, I can't even talk.
I will be your translator.
But it's called Navasota Auction is what it is. So apparently they moved, so the steakhouse is over here now. It used to be right here. That's moved. That's interesting. So what they would do is, as you can see, the trailer, the vehicles would pull in there. They're offloading the cattle inside the chutes over there, and then they run them down the alleys to the different pens or whatever. So that's what they got going on. They would have a line, and I'm telling you, you may not believe me, but these people at the trailers and stuff would be lined down the road both ways to get in. And then obviously the big chutes are for semis, so that you see there. So here I can. But you see that they're offloading right now. So as you can see, and then they're gonna let them out. And there's another trailer back there. So, but yeah. So again, on the weekend, when they're selling them, the parking lot's full. There's cars parked on both sides of the roads. And then, like I said, when they're doing an auction on the weekend, you can't, I mean, to get in here, I mean, it's just crazy. So, but yeah, there'd be on both sides of the road, left and right, there'd be trailers lined up.
Yes.
Just one?
Yes.
And now we're good?
Clear.
All right.
On my side.
So, with this little journey, I got a little surprise and a secret for you guys I wanted to share with you. As we start going off towards Anderson, a lot of people don't know this, because why would they? There's a ranch up here off to the left called the Lone Wolf Ranch. And it's right on the other side of this hill up here. And that Lone Wolf Ranch belongs to Chuck Norris. It's 1,000 acres, and his family still owns it as of today. However, I drove by his house, I shouldn't say the house, I drove by his ranch every day on my way to school. However, I never saw him, not once. My sister said she saw him at the Walmart, just one time or whatever. I can't confirm or deny any of that. But again, he was definitely into the community. I'm pretty sure he may have invested some money into the community. I don't know. I'm speaking out of my butt right now, I think, for that. I shouldn't even talk about any of that because I don't know. But anyway, long story short is his ranch is up here. Can you turn the camera just a little bit so they can see? No, towards the road. So, because it's right up here. So the white fence there, where that UPS truck is going in, that is Chuck Norris's property. And I see the fence has gotten a lot taller over the years. It used to be black. This is the Lone Wolf Ranch, guys. You can turn it now. So you can Google this or whatever you want, but it's called the Lone Wolf Ranch. That's Chuck Norris's ranch right there. So, and as you can see, that fence has gotten a lot bigger over the years. It used to be a black fence, not like this white one they have here. But again, that's Chuck Norris's 1,000 acres of his ranch right there, in between Navasota and Anderson, Texas, down here. So I just figured I'd share that with you guys. Very cool. So. And like I said, his family still owns that property, so I never seen him, so. But I will say the fence is definitely newer. Oh. The crazy thing is you can see houses right here where when I was growing up, you couldn't see those houses. There used to be a church right here up on the hill right here growing up. Oh, that house caught on fire. And again, all these are ranches on both sides. So I imagine a couple 100 acres, if more, if not more. I don't know. But a lot of this stuff hasn't changed. I mean, other than that, more houses have gotten built. This next one is probably going to be the hardest one for me because I lived here growing up through my high school years, and then after I left, what is this? Mid-Tex? So this is, what is this right here?
Mid-Tex.
Another horse and saddle. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, the other one's
that was not
right?
there. So well, we did horses and everything back there. That's interesting. That was not like that. So that's new. Very interesting. So they got two sale barns here. One's for horses and then one's for cows. Cattle, goats, sheep, whatever. That's kind of, look at that blue bonnet filled. That's interesting. So the veterinary clinic over here to the left, called Dewberry Hill is what it's called. That's where I worked through high school. And this is where I used to live.
Coco's Star of Texas.
Well, it's changed. Oh my God. You can't even see. So.
Oh, there's some building back there.
Yeah, so that's the barn. That's the red barn that, wow. It just, nothing looks alike. So the garage door is still the same. There used to be a window here with duct tape on it. This used to be a bar. It used to be called JJ's Bar. I thought it was a barbecue place now, but maybe that's closed down too.
You lived in a bar?
No. We lived in a trailer house up there on a hill.
Oh.
But you can't, I mean, it's so overgrown for, I mean, this is so crazy. You can't even see the, like, it's just so
There's
weird.
The cat.
I see that. It looks nothing like it used to look like. Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Somebody's in there.
Yeah, there's something going on in there. I don't know if people live there or not. I know, this is, oh man. This road has always been weird, but like now that we're older and trying to be more careful, everybody had big trucks, they didn't care. But this road is jacked up like you would not believe. Oh, they have asphalt.
It looks a little bit wider now.
So this used to be just all dirt road, and I see they got blacktop here.
This looks. Did you say this is one lane? Did you say it was two?
Yeah, it used to be 2 lanes. Because what you do is you pull off to the side of the road and let the other person go by. There used to be goats on both sides.
Goats.
So goats, yeah. And the guy who owned the bar, Junior, would sell them. So this is just so crazy. Hit a big smoker in the back here where that chimney thing is, that metal chimney. Again, that used to be a bar. There used to be a mobile home sitting right here for a guy named Lee.
Well, somebody must be living there because there's laundry.
I know, I was just thinking the same thing. The guy who owned this pasture, there used to be goats up here too. Oh my God, there's a trailer house up there and everything. That's all changed, holy cow. Wow. There used to be a trailer house up there, but I see that's gone. That's back over here is where I used to live, but this is all new. This is like within 25 years now. None of this stuff was here. It's all new. This guy that owns this property over here, his name was Hartford, I think, or whatever. And like he would live in Houston, and he'd have this big mansion over here off to the side of us, and he'd come down and stuff like that. His grandkids would come down and play with us or whatever at the time and stuff, so. Wow. That bluebonnet field is so cool. I'm gonna get a picture of that. What? Turn the camera. Look at this field, guys. We're in the field, I gotta get a picture of this. This is so cool. The whole field is covered in bluebonnet. Just out here visiting where we used to run up and down the road and stuff. So I figured I'd share with you guys out here visiting where we used to run up and down the road and the bluebonnets that are out here. This is so gorgeous. So cool. After coming back after 25 years. Or 24, I should say. Also, the road that are we still recording, right?
Yeah. Do you hear that trickling noise?
Yeah, it's probably the blinkers you're hearing.
I said trickling.
No.
Like water trickling.
Oh, it could be from the AC button. Anyway, so what I was gonna say is this dirt road that we're currently on. It's obviously it's been, you know, as you can see, been used and abused. But prior to me joining the service, this is the dirt road I would practice on running up and down the hill for PT and stuff, because I needed to lose a little weight before I joined, and I needed to be a better fit. Straight out of high school, I wasn't really physical, didn't do much, but I would practice on the dirt road we just got off of there to help me better with my PT stuff. So whether that was running up and down the road or doing different things, that's the road I would work on. That is so cool. The blue bonnets there,
yeah,
and then
over.
I think that's called Indian paintbrushes. The orange pile there off to the right, those I think are called Indian paintbrushes. So I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, so definitely changed. It looks, I don't even know what to say, considering where we just drove. Like, that's, I lived there all the way through high school until I joined the service, and it just, yeah, wow. So now where we're off to Anderson, Texas. I don't remember this much of this, but this is where I grew up as a child, like 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe not even 8 years old, but very, very small. And I see this is all new too, obviously. Oh, one more thing, maybe we'll see it up here. Off to the left-hand side up here, when I was in high school, I worked for a guy who was a welder. He welded fences, cattle guards, so forth and so on. And some of these big ranches liked his pipe work and everything, and they hired him to build pipe fences and stuff. So he was the welder, welding the pipe fences in, and I would come in behind him and paint those pipe fences. Well, only a couple miles worth. In fact, this is the pipe fence right here. This fence right here off to the left-hand side is the pipe fence that I painted.
It's a little rusty now.
Yeah, I painted gray.
Oh.
I mean, it's a couple miles. So, and the reason why I know it's so good is because he asked me what I wanted to get paid hourly, or if I wanted to get paid by the foot, a certain amount of cents. I took the foot of getting paid, and I think it was so ridiculous on what I was making because I couldn't keep up. And I think I lasted, I think it was like a whole summer, maybe, like a couple, like maybe 2 or 3, look at those cows, they look malnutrition. But like 2 or 3 months or weeks, I don't even remember. Like I said, it was so long, but I was in high school, and I had to paint it with a painter's mitt with gray paint. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job, but apparently I wasn't. And what happened is I had to go back and finish some stuff when I got all the way down to the road, down one side of it. And he was like, hey, you got to go back and fix this. And then after that, I said, you know what, I'm done. I don't want no more of this, because I didn't take the hourly part like I should have. I took the portion that I was making like cents on, instead of, like, it was cents per foot instead of hourly, and I regret that decision. That sucks so bad. I was so peed off at myself and so disappointed. So, but yeah, so anyway, that was a pipe fence that I painted. So remember when I had said something about the Knights of Columbus Hall?
Yep, here it is.
So this is the hall. Growing up, I don't even know if it's still used. They got a sign out there, so I'm suspecting they're still using it. But this is the hall where, as a child, we used to have to come out and clean after, like, weddings, bands, different parties, bazaars. It was all done here. We used to come out and cut grass and clean the hall. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we'd be out here cleaning this hall. This is one. There's another one in Navasota. However, I'm not going back towards Navasota. But basically, this is it right here. So I figured I'd show you guys that hall. It's changed over the years. And the funny thing is how old I am, and now seeing this stuff, everything looks 10 times smaller. Because I remember it, for some reason, it seemed like it was way bigger. But we used to have to cut the ditches with push lawnmowers. And that sucked. Oh my gosh, like hours out here cutting that. Not cool. So not very happy at having to do that. All right, so we're now coming up to Anderson, Texas. And I imagine this place has changed too over the time. And probably not going to recognize any of it. Wow. 193 people live here. I didn't realize that. I bet.
Maybe it lost a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it lost you.
Okay, well, first off, there was no storage unit here. That's interesting. Oh, Dollar General store. I see him. Yankee Doodle Donuts drive-in. That's interesting. I don't know what that's all about. None of that stuff was there. They only had a gas station here. Wow. So let's do a circle around the town square. Again, this is where and I don't think the subway was here. The subway looks a lot newer. But that gas station here was probably rebuilt. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's the same one. But that's where you used to get your groceries if you lived out here. If you didn't want to go to Navasota, you'd come out here. So. All right, so this is the town square up here that we're going to be going into.
Because you said you're in a square, so I figure
This way,
things are going to be on the outside of your square, right? Oh, that's an interesting building with the stairs.
That's the
going
courthouse.
like that.
So that's the courthouse. Or the county seat is what they refer to it. Do they call that the county seat there in St. Petersburg, Florida? Or you don't know? So I'm suspecting this courthouse isn't getting used anymore, because as you can see, it says not an entrance.
Well, they have a main door. So I think they just don't want you going up the stairs, and they have the handicap.
Oh yeah, maybe. Attorney of law. I bet that building not get used.
Well.
So again, none of this. I don't recognize any of it. The building's been there for years, but I still don't like. Yeah, it just very cool. And then as you can see, like all the old rustic stuff here, in the city of Anderson, or village of Anderson, considering there's only 193 people that are populated in this area. I don't recognize anything. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take 1774. And we got, because I didn't know we had a stop sign. I want to pull off up here. So this road off over here to the left used to be where the dump was. However, that's not there now. Give me a second, I'll be right back. That's what I want. All right, so again, the dump, there used to be a big dump down there, and the reason why I'm even bringing up that dump is because we used to, well, I shouldn't say we. Oh, look at the cool orange flowers. Again, I think those are Indian paintbrushes, but I'm not sure. But basically, we used to, we were a pet hoarder, I guess you could say, growing up. So we would find kittens there, or cats, and then we'd bring them home, and that's the reason why we had so many cats. So, I know. You don't think of that, but we'd find them there, we'd bring them home, and that's how we had all those. So
I'm so glad you got that out of your system.
This is why I don't own any animals no more, so. Yep. So these roads have always been jacked up down here too, in Texas. So I guess seeing the bumps and stuff or whatever is, now that I think about it, I guess I didn't realize it as bad, but like, oh my God, like I'm like, oh yeah, this 25 years ago, these roads were just like this. So they have these ridiculous speed limits, but yet the potholes say otherwise, or the bumps and holes. Like, I think the speed limit on here is either 65 or 7. Well, car's saying 65, but I'm pretty sure there were spots where it said 70.
Yeah.
However, on 1774, 25 years ago, you weren't doing 70 on this road, because you'd probably lose an axle, because the potholes or the grooves in these roads were just, yeah. Another thing that I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing any big oil rigs or anything. 25 years, I'm guessing with new technology, you don't have to do all that drilling and stuff down here. But you would see oil rigs, these big tall structures in the middle of a pasture. Wow, I'm stuttering and everything. And you would know that would be an oil rig or whatever that was out there in the pasture. So just figured I'd share that with you. So I've seen a couple semis with oil rig stuff on there, but I didn't see any oil rigs off to the side or the right or left, other than the pumps that are going, not the big rigs or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to focus on driving now for a little bit, and then we're going to go from there, because I love getting the rocks thrown into the windshield. That kind of aggravates me just a little bit, considering we had an issue a while back, and to replace the windshield was almost $1,300, but I didn't have to pay that because insurance took care of it. But I don't want to have to go through that again, because that sucks. So anyway, I'll let you guys focus on the scenery, and we'll go from there. So one more thing, a lot of the dirt roads that you're seeing off to the left or right, well, there's dirt roads. There's like CR 247, CR 248 or whatever, which is just country road or county road. Down some of those dirt roads is where we used to do blackberry picking on the side of the road. They're wild blackberries. That's another reason why I don't like blackberries, because we'd have to go out there and pick them, and then, you know, get eaten up by the thorns, or just, yeah, I just did not like it, was not a fan of that. So just figured I'd share that with you guys. was a cow.
Cow pattern horse.
I'm surprised I haven't seen any longhorns.
We only saw them when we did the video.
No, we had the one, but I don't know if we
And I
saw
don't
it.
think it was on camera.
Yeah, so. With all these ranches, you'd think you'd see a longhorn. I mean, where we lived out here, it was off to the left-hand side somewhere, but everything has changed so dramatically, like I'm not gonna recognize any of it.
Well, and
this
if
is,
you were that little.
yeah, I mean, well, I came back out here,
side.
yeah, somewhere over here, but I don't know where. I mean, the stuff, like I said, 24 years ago, some of these buildings have been abandoned, you know, probably 10, 15 years ago, so there's a possibility, so. Okay, what is that? Is that a factory? That definitely was not there before, obviously. Okay, so I believe the church was here, if I remember correctly. So it might be up around this curve up here. There was like a little gas pump that was off over here where the guy used to park his semi. But I mean, that was years ago, so. And again, this is 24 years ago. So yeah, nothing's looking. Actually, that driveway right there. No, it's a fence thing.
I mean, but it might have been after. Well, it's a really long driveway.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a yellow mobile home that was back there, and like I said, when I was down here, prior to joining the service, when I came back to visit and take a look at it, it was already overgrown on that property. And is that a sign for Longhorns? Where's the Longhorns? Registered Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, there's.
Do you see any?
There's no animals.
Come on, they're in there somewhere.
I think there's a skunk somewhere.
Yeah, I smell that. So anyway, again, that was said registered Texas Longhorns back there, but they're all hidden somewhere, so I'm not able to see them. I wish they were by the road. But long story short is that, like, I when I went there a while back prior to joining the service, I couldn't tell, like, I mean, you could see the yellow in the mobile home, but you couldn't get to it because it was so overgrown. But yeah, so. That wasn't there.
Well, and it might have been like cleaned up and then the land.
Oh yeah, I meant, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So. I know we passed it already because this stuff, like, I got a funny feeling we passed it, but it's all good. Do what? What'd you say now? So I think this may be where it's at, right around this curve now. Wood design. I don't know. Anyway, it's always a good drive coming back here after 24 years, so very cool. Plus I get to share it with you guys too, so that's kind of cool. You guys get to experience Texas, the views, but you don't get to smell what we're smelling right now. There's a skunk somewhere. Down here, this area floods pretty bad. I didn't think this road was flooding that bad, but when I lived down here a while back, there's another road that run kind of parallel to here on the other side that the ditches are dug out so deep, and that area was scary when you drive on it because the ditches were so deep. And I've seen the water over there and how it, you know, when it rains and floods or whatever. I've never seen a flood gauge like that. That was kind of interesting back there on the side of the road. But also, if you guys wouldn't mind, again, if you guys like this content, please subscribe so that way other people can see this. Again, Texas is beautiful. And
so, can I just say that if people subscribe, that has no control over other people being able to see or not?
Well, share with their friends. Share it with your friends.
Say that.
Share with your friends.
Subscribe and spread the word.
Yes, that would be so awesome. I mean,
and comment if you have suggestions for other places for us to go visit.
Plus, I get excited when the numbers go up. So, I mean, especially, you know, I mean, it's kind of silly, but it's kind of cool. So, again, or, you know, if you don't feel like subscribing, that's fine too. But again, I want to show you guys what, you know, the ventures we go on, and it's kind of cool, you know, so. I will say one thing, that we got quite a bit of other things coming up here in the near future that I am definitely looking forward to sharing with you guys. So, and again, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama were just a vacation we took. Who knows what we got for the future? Other than some really cool adventures. Plantersville, Texas. So 464 people live here. This is another little area that I used to hang out with some friends from school because they lived out here. However, the only place I lived at is back there that I can't find. Again, 24 years later, I kind of didn't think we were going to find it anyway, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to see. So.
Do you recognize your friend's houses?
Oh, we're not going that far now. So that's crossing another road up here. I think we're turning in 5 miles, so I wouldn't know. They all moved on, and I think last time I heard or saw, when I lived in Kewanee, they were living, I think they moved to Houston, but I don't even know, so I wouldn't know anyway. So those orange flowers are really pretty. Yeah, maybe there was a light here. I was thinking, I didn't know if there was a light here, if there was not a light here, but I think there was. Obviously not as new as this is. And I think that's always been there, but there used to be a video store over there too. But I don't know.
Now it's donuts.
Yeah, what is up with the donuts?
Donut stores.
That wasn't like that growing up. I'm just like trying to understand like why there's so many donut stores. Kind of interesting. Now, do we get a green light?
No green for us. There you go.
Yay! Green light for us! Yay! I think that little red shack here used to be a video store at one time. Again, 25 years ago or 24 years ago. I could be wrong. I don't remember, and I'm not going to jump a train track.
Good choice.
Considering
that you've done that in Georgia with not very good results. Right after somebody told you not to speed over.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. So the battery went dead, so we swapped the battery out. But currently we're in Plantersville, Texas. And I pulled over to swap the battery out so we can continue to go. Let's go from there. So let's see where that guy's going. Alright, I think we're good. So there's a bar up here, but I don't know if we're gonna get there, like going this way, because it's been many, many years, obviously. But it was called the horniest place in Texas, and it actually had deer horns and horns all over the place, on the inside and outside. But again, that was 24 years ago, and who knows if it is even standing there anymore. So I just figured I'd share that with you guys because I thought that was kind of interesting. be another ranch over here to the left-hand side that's registered Longhorns. I just wish they were close to the road. But again, some of these ranches are hundreds of thousands of acres. I mean, as you're aware, Texas is huge. So, you know, these cattle may be closer to the barn or on a back lot somewhere. So, and we're just on a highway here. But who knows? Probably the biggest bridge I've seen so far. 17.3 down here. What do you think?
Since Navasota area?
Well, just anywhere. Like, it just seems like 17.3 is quite a big bridge. Could be wrong, but oh, let's wait till we get up here, I guess. Got ourselves a little red light here. This is, it looks new too, so I don't know. Oh, it's a toll road.
Oh yeah, you saw some tires. No cash.
Mail me the ticket. What? Thing and then hitting something down and then dripping down on the ground. I can kind of hear a little bit, but I mean,
hopefully it wasn't like something that showed you somewhere, you know, from police stuff. You don't have any warnings on your screen.
do what? Say?
So you don't have any
No, there's nothing on there. So we're on some sort of Texas toll road right now, but look at all the blue bonnets too in the middle median there. That's kind of cool. On the left-hand side. See the flashes go off when you went underneath it.
Yeah, so it's a pay by mail, so maybe we'll get something in the mail.
Well, we know the Illinois toll roads take forever, so it actually costs us more in late fees than it did for the tolls.
Which we weren't late, they just didn't tell us what we were going to do.
Look at those flowers. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. This is the best highway we've been on in like forever.
Because they're charging people money for it.
I mean, this is really nice.
Unlike
see that?
They
That's
don't
kind of
get
cool.
missed. They get paid too.
Let's get off the toll road and then we can turn let it rest for a while.
Is it 80?
Do what? It's 70. Which is funny. This is the only decent road I've been on down here. And it's 70 miles an hour, but yet you have me on a road that has potholes and speed bumps, and you want to have me go 75 miles an hour. Well, technically you should be going at the speed you feel comfortable at, but everybody else is going to run you off the road if you weren't doing 75, so, which is interesting. So we're getting off up here. Just in time for something to be in the road. That's what I like seeing. Something in the road. On the ramp. Yeah. Hopefully not. Yeah, look at all that. Tire stuff all in the road right there. And we're getting off. That's cool. But it's like you can see it.